Good afternoon, Commissioners. I want to remind you to mute your microphones, and when you have something to say, be certain to say your name first. Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to call to order the September 19th, 2023 Senior Citizens Commission meeting at 2 o'clock. Do we have roll call by touchscreen? Has everybody done that? Okay. Commissioner Farley, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Okay. Well, we have special presentations is number 4, and Amy Eustace is our new Recreation Supervisor for Adult and Senior Services. And Amy, would you say a few words to us, please?
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amy Eustace. I am the new Recreation Supervisor for Senior Services and Adult Programming. I'm so happy to be here. I've been working in the public sector since I was 18 years old, mostly in transit. I've worked for North County Transit, the trains, the LIFT program, transporting elderly and disabled people. I've also worked for the city of Vista for their senior center. And so this is my next stop, and I'm so excited to be a part of this program, to help it grow in ways that we haven't in a while, and I'm happy to be here with you all.
Well, thank you, Amy. We welcome you as well. Anybody have any questions for Amy? Well, we have another speaker on our agenda, but she does not appear to be here. She was from Choosewell, San Diego, and maybe we'll check and find out what happened to her and if she can come another time. So number 5 on the agenda is oral communications.
We have 2 speakers, Deanna Manuzzi and Renee Hansen, and you each have 3 minutes to address the commission.
Let you know that we have a new program. It's called Discover and Go, and it's for San Diego County residents of all ages who have a library card, and we give passes to attend different attractions in San Diego. So you can make a reservation by printing or downloading your pass shortly before your visit. All you have to take to the attraction is picture ID and the printed pass or the mobile device with you on the date of your reservation. Each library card holder can make up to 2 reservations at a time. You can make a reservation up to 3 months in advance. And if you need any help, you can call the branch, or you can visit San Diego County Library branch. How many passes can I reserve? It's up to 2 passes at a time. And then how many people can each use the Discover and Go pass? It depends on each museum or attractions. Remember that the reservations are first come, first served, and if a pass is not available for the attraction or the date you want, you have to make a different selection. Reservations can be canceled if the passes have not been printed or downloaded. And if I don't use the pass for the date I reserved, then the unused pass will count towards your limit. So you have to make sure that you use it. We have a list of attractions where you can use that pass.
Yeah, I'd like to mention some of them. Coronado Historical Society, the J.A. Cooley Museum, La Jolla Historical Society, the Museum of Photographic Arts, the Museum of Us, the New Children's Museum, the San Diego Archaeological Center, the San Diego Ballet. You can see live events with this as well. The San Diego Children's Discovery Museum, San Diego Museum of Art, San Diego State University Athletics, CFC, an athletic event at no charge. San Diego Zoo, which will most likely be the most popular one and will be hard to get passes for that one. And lastly, Skate World. So what Discover and Go has essentially done is expanded our free museums that the library can offer. There's a bigger variety, more opportunity, and people can reserve online so they can get the exact date that they want.
And we wanted to start with the fun part, which is Discover and Go, to go on with the COVID-19 response by the library. So
the COVID-19 response continues, and today we just received 1,000 test kits. So these will be available to community members of Encinitas. They will just need to come into the library, and each family member can get one of the test kits, and hopefully this will last for a few weeks, and we'll try to get more kits if we can.
Okay, that's all we have for today.
I have a few questions, if I might.
Okay.
Yes, you can also come to the library or call us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 6 on the agenda, changes to the agenda. Clerk William, are there any changes to the agenda?
There are none.
Okay, number 7 is approval of the minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve the August 15th, 2023 meeting minutes?
This is Commissioner Angel. I make a motion to approve the August 15th, 2023 minutes.
Commissioner Angel has made a motion to approve the minutes. Do I have a second this motion?
This is Commissioner Martin. I move that we approve the minutes.
Now we have to touch screen approval or disapproval to the meeting minutes.
Let the record show it passes unanimously with Commissioner Ling being absent.
We're up to number 8, action items. So we're going to talk about the work plan. So number 1 on the work plan is attend city-sponsored and city-partnered local community events serving as city ambassadors. Do any commissioners have any updates about that?
Yes, this is Commissioner Tobias. I attended the talk given by the Senior Living Foundation on selling a home as is. You can sell a home as is, and they had a lot of tips about how to do it.
It's interesting. Number 2 is identify guest speakers for monthly meetings to provide education regarding topics related to adults 50+ and find platforms to disseminate the information to adults 50+. Do we have any updates about guest speakers for the future?
Commissioner Copeland speaking. We are actively in I'm going to say, procuring speakers based not only on our survey, but based on some outside resources. We're recognizing that there are a lot of other places that are addressing our senior or 50+, and they're having great attendance, which to me seems like we don't really need to reinvent the wheel. So we're looking at doing that, and I think we're narrowing it down. We would like to, we'd like to get the whole year and next year planned. So I'd say we're really getting in the place that we can now start addressing the needs that have come forth.
Thank you, Commissioner Koblenz. Anything else? Okay, number 3 is engage as organizers and volunteers with local community service organizations and the Community and Senior Center. Do we have any updates about that? None. So number 4 is continue partnership with the Encinitas Rotary Club and explore other Encinitas Service Club partnerships to recognize or promote the Senior Citizen of the Year and Lifetime Achievement Award.
This is Commissioner Angel, and I have an update. The ad hoc committee did meet since the last meeting to discuss the Senior Citizen of the Year awards and best practices and what possibly could be done with regards to further promotion, and also met with the Rotary representative. And at the time, we now felt like we wanted to meet with Christy to get some further direction and perhaps input. So at this time, we're going to reassess. We're going to schedule an appointment when she is available. She's out at the moment. So we're moving forward in the fact that we want to continue to promote the program and look at best practices and/or whether or not this program is in fact viable moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Angel. Anybody else? Okay, number 5 is create new and sustain ongoing intergenerational programming in collaboration with the Encinitas Youth Commission and other service organizations. Any updates? Well, we could do it at grants. Okay, no updates for number 5. Number 6 is create new and sustain ongoing programs for adults 50 plus, including computer assistance, Feeling Fit Club, and class offerings at the Encinitas Community and Senior Center, Encinitas Parks, and/or San Diego County Libraries in Encinitas. Any new information about that?
This is Commissioner Martin. The chair has been taking our survey that we recently completed and gathering the data in a different way to make it a little bit clearer and cohesive and also specific as to what might be some targeted needs as well as goals for us. So I believe that will be coming at the next meeting.
Sounds good.
If I could, excuse me, this Commissioner Tobias, if I could just ask, are those results available somewhere? Because I haven't seen anything from the survey. Perhaps I missed that meeting.
Commissioner Koblenz, yes, they are, and I'll be happy to forward them to you.
That'd be great, thank you.
Okay, number 7, leverage participation in Age Well San Diego 2.0 conversations to create recommendations and programs that can directly affect the adult 50-plus community in Encinitas. So this is Commissioner Hanwitt, and I did attend the Age Well Housing Team meeting on September 7th, and they had 2 speakers. One was Rhonda Brown, Assistant Medical Services Administrator with the county and Behavioral Health Services Manager. And the second was Jason Cuneo, the Senior Services Program Manager with the San Diego LGBT Community Center. And they talked about housing for these 2 populations, which was very interesting. Anything else for that work plan number? Okay, 8 is explore grant funding opportunities based on community needs and survey results. This is Commissioner Hanwitt again, and we did have an opportunity to take a look at a funding opportunity that the county had made available to enhance or build a community garden for an intergenerational program. And it was suggested to us that we take a look at Glen Park. But the terrain, although the park is accessible, the terrain is quite steep where the raised garden beds are. And we began to think the turnaround for this was like days. I mean, it came out one day and they wanted a response maybe 5 days later. And we thought that this was something that was really important and that we wanted to take a closer look at it, not for that funding opportunity, but maybe another one, and see if we could find a location that might be more accessible for people with all kinds of mobility needs. Anything to add?
This is Commissioner Angel. I have a question regarding that potential grant. So I'm wondering if you were saying that the grant has been considered and possibly even looked at putting a grant in, or you're still in the process of finding a location?
No, well, the deadline passed. It was a very quick turnaround. You had to let them know. They didn't want a tremendous amount of information, but you still had to let them know in a very short amount of time. And we just felt that this was an important project and that we wanted to make sure that we did it right in the right place. So we would find some funding somewhere else.
Thank you.
It's Commissioner Farley, I just have a question. The way I understand grants is I always thought you kind of needed a program in place before you apply to a grant, or if that's not necessarily no?
No, I don't think that's necessarily true. The organization that you work for has to have some integrity and validity, but the program itself can be brand new. It could be something very innovative that, you know, you've thought of that hasn't even been done before. Okay, number 9, develop and conduct a survey for adults 50 plus to gain insight into programs and services for this demographic. Any more updates?
Commissioner Koblenz, this is where 2 and 9 overlap. I think our updates are, as I explained, we're getting very close to narrowing down exactly what we need to do and how we need to do it. With the splicing of the data, which was important to eliminate those that responded rarely or not at all to give us a more complete picture, we are definitely looking at, and the ad hoc will meet probably next week, to choose what we think might be speakers and presentations possibly. Our intention is to get even mini presentations here so that the 50-plus community then can see and hear that we're doing things, engage on this level, and then engage more at the active participation. We're also looking at opportunities with the approval of the city for some quote-unquote public pieces, personal items, interviews that'll be done in our North County advocates, North County News and such, to show that we are moving forward. So we're very excited.
Sounds good.
This is Commissioner Farley. I don't know if this probably should have been under the topic of recommendations for speakers, but there's going to be a change in the Medicare Advantage plan this year. A lot of the medical groups will not be accepting Medicare Advantage, and so there needs to be some education. I thought maybe this could be a good program to maybe have this committee look into, because it's going to be in effect January of 2024.
And that sounds like a good recommendation.
Yes, in that program, this is Commissioner Martin, there's actually 30,000 people in our county alone that will be dropped.
Wow.
So it is going to have a huge rippling effect.
Wow. Thank you for that. That's good information. Number 10 is research best practices as it relates to adult 50-plus issues and send letters of support as needed to City Council and commissions. And, well, we haven't had any new letters go out, but Commissioner Ling and I are attending the Encinitas Academy, and there are about 20 participants, and I would say probably half of them are commissioners. So when we had some time at the end of the first session, which was last week, the questions that were coming up it was the city manager that was there, plus some other people from administrative services. There were a lot of commission questions from other advisory commissions. And so we were able to ask or talk about the 2 letters that we had submitted. Actually, it's 3 because we submitted the universal design letter twice, and then recently the permits letter for updating the website. And we asked, we said that we had gotten acknowledgement that the letters had been submitted and received, but then we hadn't heard anything else about that. And so the city manager promised that she would find out where they are and what the status is. So I think that's an important bit of information that we'll be able to find out about. I would recommend the Encinitas Academy. We only had 1 session, but it's fun and interesting and well organized, and they give you dinner. So very worthwhile. When it comes up again, I would recommend it to anybody that has the time to do it.
Commissioner Martin, can I ask a question? When you are going to these sessions, do you apply to go to all of the sessions in that?
Yeah.
So if I were interested, I'd start at the next sessions.
Well, I don't even know that they'd have any openings because the original email said that they were limiting it to 20 participants, and it was a kind of a first come, first serve situation, and the room was pretty full, but you could check.
No, but that's what I meant. Do I wait until
Until
the
they do it
next
again.
time they roll
Yeah,
out?
it sounds
a
like this
block
was
of-
the second time they did it. They did it last year, and so you might have to wait a year, but
Okay.
worthwhile. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, so we are down to in number 9, informational items. And number 9 on the agenda, not on the work plan. Manager Goodsell is not here today, so we're going to ask if Manager Hammer can give us a senior center operations report, followed by a department update.
I do not have a report for the senior center operations, but I will point for Amy just to tell us about the dance they had last week and to share some information on meal attendance.
Yes. So last week we had our monthly dance. Our theme was Coco Cabana. We had 56 participants and pretty good attendance. We also had a sponsor for that day. Our goal in the upcoming year is to have a sponsor for every one of our events. So that's one of the things that, this is my 3rd week. I've been working hard at reaching out for sponsors for our different events. So that was well attended. I've been told there usually is between 50 and 70 attendees. So hopefully we'll get those numbers up. As far as nutrition numbers, they are increasing. In my 3 weeks, I've seen them go from 22 to 35 on a daily basis. So we are getting more and more participants. Our van shuttle is booked each day. We're at capacity. I know personally, I've heard seniors, they're starting to carpool to come in. So they're really enjoying the program. Yeah.
This is Commissioner Angel. I have a question related to a comment regarding looking for sponsorship. Could you help me better understand what might change with sponsorship for these dances?
Well, I think previously the person in my position just waited for outside agencies to contact them about sponsorships. I'm turning it around and I'm reaching out to people for sponsorships. So my plan is for the new year is to have every event that is available for a sponsorship and to send out a mass email to all previous sponsors and fill those up as quickly as we can instead of just waiting until the week before an event trying to scramble for a sponsor.
Thank you.
I have a question, Amy. I'm sorry, Supervisor Amy. Who was the sponsor for The Last Dance?
Their agency was called Voters for Cures, and I apologize. I wasn't actually there during the dance period, so and I'm not sure how they came to us. Were you there for that event?
I was there, and that's why I had the question. I took the card, and the card said something about strategy, but what I saw on the clipboards was opportunities for mole remediation, and then a beautiful bag off to the side, which I loved. I didn't get one, which just said your voice is important. So I was a little bit confused because I'm going to think that our sponsor would be relevant to our audience with regard to education and such and advocacy.
You are absolutely correct. This being my third week, I wasn't really familiar with that agency, and I have already had that conversation with my coordinator, Jacqueline, and moving forward, we're going to vet our sponsors a little more heavily to make sure that they are an agency that impacts our seniors.
Yes, because Jacqueline was very excited having spoken to the woman, and then when she showed up with this different kind of promotional material, I got confused. So thank you.
Yes.
Manager Hamer, I wanted to add that I did just put Supervisor Eustis on the spot. That was not planned. So we appreciate your inquiring and apologize for not having a planned report because Christie's absence was unexpected.
Another question, if I may, Commissioner Tobias. What do the sponsors, is this just an opportunity for them to promote whatever they're doing, assuming it's relevant, or do they provide something that enhances the event? Refreshments or flowers or whatever?
So, Manager Hamer, I'll respond. Sponsorships are to help support the program. So it just depends on what sponsor might come forward that we would check to see if they, what their goals are, and we mix them with our goals. Normally, it's a funding. It's actually a dollar amount that helps to pay for that live band and the food and all the extra enhancements that are brought to that event is funded by the sponsors. And then the sponsors come with their message of this is our business, this is what we do, and as Commissioner Koblenz had touched upon, ideally it's targeted to the audience that's there, but ultimately if a sponsor wants to fund and they're doing a service that might be for your home or something different, that might also be a good fit. There's not a niche that it has to be A, B, or C. We review it and we see if there's a natural fit. But it is funding, it's dollars, it's not flowers or anything like that.
Okay, thank you, Manager Hamer. Do you have any other department updates?
Yes, I do. For department updates, I wanted to share that the Recreation Division is in the midst of their final planning for the movie in the park. That will be on Saturday, October 14th in the evening. I'll send out an email to see if any of you are interested in helping us sponsor the booth or help with crafts in the beginning. And it's going to be located at Glen Park, which is near Scout House. the last movie in the park we did, we hosted crafts there, but this time we're going to have a spooky house and some fun Halloween-themed activities. And if you're there, you'll also get a chance to see the small garden that we do have that's in place. And we do use that garden for our camps. So maybe in the future, just with natural funding that we have, maybe there'd be an opportunity to do some intergenerational programming, not through the grant, but through the space that's already there and exists. So that will be, again, mark your calendar, Saturday, October 14th. We are also in the midst of planning for our winter guide, which is why we're so excited to have our new supervisor here. She's pulling that all together. Our winter guide starts building in mid-October, so we have limited opportunity to get on new programs, but we are doing our best to try to build that out. We are also looking for volunteers. We have the Encinitas VIP volunteer program, but specifically, we're really hoping for either a walking volunteer or some volunteers who can help around at the senior center to expand on our programs. We've had some luck of people having that interest, and maybe it could even be gardening volunteers. We have some interest, but it's about finding the right time, the right day, and the right slot. So if you have that interest or you have friends who want to do more, please send them our way. We also are ramping up for the holiday parade, which I know here in Encinitas is a beloved tradition. We have met with the parade committee, and the theme is Traditions of Encinitas. So that will build in, as you know, as residents, so many wonderful, beloved traditions that Encinitas holds. The parade entry application has gone out and is released. It'll be due mid-November. And we're just working with all those partners, sponsors, and community groups to help pull that together. In the past, our beloved Nick Buck, who is the rec supervisor, always oversaw that. He was recently promoted to the mobility manager, which is very exciting for him. But we will be bringing on a new special events and special project supervisor who will start in October. I will have that person come and introduce themselves, but they'll be the lead person for the parade. So it will be definitely a transition and learning curve. But we're super excited and hope you as a commission have participation and representation and you join us at the parade. The other item for at least recreation is we're updating our athletic field allocation policy and use. If you are familiar at all, our fee study had gone through and we presented to the City Council on June 28th, and fees were adjusted and updated. So those have been implemented, and now our field allocation policy is being also previewed by the Parks and Recreation Commission and also the City Council. And there is a senior players. They do get a discount if you're not familiar with it. Not only do they get a discount, but also have preference over fields over other adult groups. So I think that would be important to you as a group. And I just want to touch off and say thank you as commissioners for your volunteer work. I know you've helped at art nights and moonlight beach concerts, and looking forward to some help at the movie in the park. And you've just become a very integral part of the community and our efforts as staff. So thank you very much.
This is Commissioner Angel. Thank you for your update. I do have a question regarding the holiday parade. I'm wondering if that date has already been established.
Yes, the holiday parade will be on Saturday, December 2nd.
Thank you.
Commissioner Koblenz, the deadline for the new catalog is? The Parks and Recs catalog, the deadline?
The deadline for the catalog for winter will be mid-October. So if we were to be able to develop something like a walking club, though, we can introduce that without it being in the guide. When something is published in the guide, because that has a distribution and bigger marketing, it goes to everybody's homes, it has a bit more power behind it. But if it's something as simple as a walking club, we feel pretty strongly we could introduce that sooner.
Martin, on the parade again, the cars that I mentioned, I believe, if either of those or both of those are wanted for the seniors that are part of the awards for this year, please let me know. I know last year I didn't fill out anything. It was filled out for us. So just let me know.
Manager Hamer, yes, we do assume commissioners are joining us, so we do fill that out for you. But as far as the cars, I was going to touch base with the committee, and I'm sure they'll be needed. I just don't know full knowledge of every car that's needed, but I think it would be great, and you should plan on it, but I will get back to you to confirm.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you for that report, Manager Hamer. And we're now up to number 10 on the agenda, commission member initiated agenda items. Do we have any? No, we do not have.
Oh, agenda items.
Yeah,
Sorry, for
any new
next
agenda
year, or,
items?
I mean, next session, or for now? This isn't
It's
the
for
round
now.
table, sorry.
And the next one is future agenda items. Do we have any future agenda items to be added for next time? Okay, then we'll move on to number 12, which is Commission Reports Roundtable. And this is an opportunity for anybody that hasn't had a chance to share information about what they've been doing in the last month to do it now. And we'll start at the end with Commissioner Tobias and come across.
I don't have anything to add. Thank
Okay?
you.
Commissioner Martin, some of you guys know that I did the holiday baskets for seniors that's promoted by CRC. It was kind of a cool event. I put several of our neighborhood put in a lot of work actually setting up long booths and assembly of these items. We decided to make it a little easier on ourselves and ask if anybody was interested. I have a lot of flyers here, and you could give me 1, 2, 3, whatever you wanted to do. They're very, very specific as to what goes into those baskets. But personally, I think it's a great way to start and launch the holiday season and give to these seniors that are in need. So if anybody would like a flyer, they can give it to me, or there's an address at the bottom at the beginning of December 2nd and 3rd. It gets delivered to the CRC, which both of us actually have connections, so you can give it to either one of us. So
If I may just ask, I'm not quite sure what you're asking for here. For example, if it says 1 box of tea sampler, does that mean I could go to the store and buy 1 box of tea sampler and give it to you?
Well, it means that you create a gift bag with each one of these items, or a mixture of the items that are in bullets. I probably, the next session, will bring a sample, because that makes it a lot easier for you to understand. But it was, the gift bags that we did last year were literally that big in order to hold everything. They did say on this year, please don't stuff it with a lot of tissue. So I think they want the items in there to make sure they're there. But you put, yes, a box of tea, a little box of Forever stamps, a little jar gripper, 1 or 2 little C's candy bars, and then of the little bullets, you just put, pads or pens or puzzles, Tic Tacs, little cookies, nuts, and gloves or slippers. You put a little.
Commissioner
you
Martin,
Put those items.
if I could just interrupt, this is just a chance to provide an update.
Sorry. Sorry.
Well, I'm going to ask for a further update. Is there an update on whether there's going to be a standard bag, or do
Well,
we provide
I'll
the
give
bags
that.
as well?
This is not yeah, I'll do that offline.
Commissioner Copeland, thank you, Commissioner Martin, for that
Thank you for
update.
that.
For those of you that may or may not know, Holiday Baskets is December 9th, if you want to mark your calendar. I have just a couple updates. I was at the Art Walk. It was lovely. I got to usher people into the shuttles, which was very fun. I did, and I have been doing the senior dances, and they're really a lot of fun. And they're a lot of fun to get to know our seniors And then on another note, I want to kind of remind us, Oktoberfest is coming this Sunday. The United Nations International Day of Peace has a wonderful event on Thursday, and it's all about peace. I will be doing a little part of it. And the other thing I'd like to really remind us that I'm finding in me going out in all these places with our seniors and with the people is just having a conversation about how's it going and what's going on. And when I work with a couple other places, I'm always asking in different capacities, which we all have different capacities, how are they doing and how each place has an effect on their lives. So I'm finding I'm getting a lot of information. And then just one more thing, I found this wonderful Canine Unwind. I did go to San Diego Alliance. If you have not participated in that group, I think it's not one of my work plans, but the intergenerational could combine with the San Diego Alliance, which is absolutely phenomenal. Got a wonderful program. They probably had 50 people. Obviously speaking, their priority is youth. As the youth is our present, they're not our future. They're here today, and they have a wonderful outline that crosses that same path. So they meet on the, I don't know, but if you're interested, I'll send it to you. Wonderful, wonderful opportunity again to just do that little weaving, that collaboration that I think is so important. Thank you.
Commissioner Farley, I'm working on providing a caregiver support group through the Alzheimer's Association. We don't have one in North County right now, so the goal is to try to get something by January of 2024. And then also, I'm also working on doing some education regarding the Medicare change, and hopefully I'll have an update next month on that.
Commissioner Angel, we had a presentation on mental health first aid recently, and subsequent to that, I have signed up for a day-long training for mental health first aid, and that will be November 13th. I've also been selected to go through some volunteer training through Jewish Family Service and to provide ongoing support to not only seniors, but to include seniors in such things as housebound individuals and doing home visits and things of that nature. Thank you.
Commissioner Koblenz, Commissioner Angel, could you tell me a little bit more about that, about what it entails?
Well, this is Commissioner Angel. This is not this particular update is really for a brief. I'm happy to talk about that more offline.
And this is Commissioner Hanwood. I just want to give you a little update on our village Encinitas, which continues to grow. We just received our 501c3 designation from the IRS, and we've had a well-attended second meeting at High Country Villas, where we asked people to list the services that they felt they needed in order to be able to stay put where they are. And we're currently working on a volunteer application and a volunteer handbook and an orientation. So it continues to move ahead. And I'm guessing that's it. So thank you, everybody, for attending the meeting. And the September 19th, 2023 Senior Citizens Commission meeting is hereby adjourned at 2:42 p.m.
celebrations and a month before Pace was there. But so like a requirement for sponsorship is not that it has to be affiliated. Right. So even like the holiday parade, there's all kinds of sponsors. Sponsors are sponsors. They provide money. They don't do flowers. They provide cash. So if there's a cash, like they are a plumbing business or something, I wouldn't necessarily say no. I think we don't just say yes to every sponsor. Usually it's vetted. So I would imagine Jacqueline vetted that with Christie. And again, if they're providing the funds and they have information in the service. They didn't hurt anybody. Yeah, but I mean, like, but it doesn't, a requirement is not that it has to be older adult. It could be anyone who has a home, anyone who has a car, anybody,
Right, so I have 4 prospective people that I would like to consider getting in speakers. Should I send that to Christie?
Christie still, she just happens to be out. But, yeah, no, I know each meeting,
Well, this is really cool, though. This came from, again, San Diego Alliance, which.
oh, I know, they come to all the youth, she comes to all the youth
So
commission meetings.
she's speaking at my, how do I say this? The organization I'm the chair of in October. So they have these people coming. They're already, scripts is already vetted. They're talking about seniors.
Yeah. For me, that would be great for them to come to, and I'm sure some, that's
Yeah.
who does outreach, they probably.
That group was, I've never been to one of those before. And it was very educational, so, welcome, thank you.
It's all about community, they're trying the different thoughts and.
And I will apologize up front because I'm always screwed up,
No, you're not. I know, I was apologizing to her, you know what, it's really too much, yes, I'm apologizing, I tell myself that.
Thank you.
And it's, I'm trying to think, is this something I need to do now?
Because our heart is always in the right spot.
I know. I literally do emails and I'll have to catch myself and say, no, I apologize.
I like it.
It's our gut.
It is, yeah. All right, bye. Off to the chamber, good sir.
walk by the library and ask
Right.